Hello everyone, it's Safa. I decided to put out another message for this blood moon in Aquarius because it's a lunar eclipse, so it deserves special attention. It's affecting us on a deeply emotional level, and being that I'm an Aquarius moon, like I said in my last video about this, I feel particularly connected with the vibration, and I feel that my Aquariusness is being raised to the next level with this energy. So I want to talk about that and what that means. This is also a way for me to expand upon the concepts that I highlighted in my tarot video, the tarot reading that I did for this blood moon lunar eclipse. Because a lot of the stuff I talked about, I kind of just threw it out there casually when I feel that these concepts are far beyond casual, and I would like to really do them justice and explain what I mean. For example, when I say manifesting timelines, what the heck does that mean? Some people might understand what that means, but some of the people viewing that may not and just feel like, okay, what the heck? So I'm going to explain it now. So if you've watched some of my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about the nature of the universe, that I feel that because the universe is infinite, that everything exists on some level, and our ability to interact with it is based on our vibration, where our physical beings are vibrating, our souls are vibrating. So with these infinite possibilities, I want to put the message out there that we shouldn't be closing our minds at all or defining how things are at all, because the age of Aquarius is about renewing and shifting into a vibration meaning a reality that's totally different, where things work in a totally different way, where what you thought was real isn't real anymore. And that's where the Tower card comes in, and that's why the Tower card is Aquarius, is because the Aquarian age is coming, and it's shifting, and it's tearing down the old. There is a reason why Aquarius is both a science and faith in the zodiac. It's because those two things are connected. You have to have faith in order to want to observe and discover. But it's how we observe and discover that matters. So in terms of observing something in a materialist sense, what is manifesting in the material is a result of the spiritual. And the spiritual is a result of the material. It feeds back in on itself. So what we're able to observe does affect our mind. But I want to talk about what I have seen in my mind. And that is relevant to the people who are watching this video. It's relevant to me, so I'm going to explain the fabric of the universe, what I have seen in my visions. So for me, weed is very psychoactive. It helps me to unblock my third eye. So one time I smoked some pretty good weed with some of my friends, and I literally saw this infinitely unfolding crystalline graph sequence in my brain that just didn't stop. It just kept going on and on and on, folding it on itself. And this vision was explaining to me that we are interwoven with other people's lives on interdimensional levels, how we're interwoven with the vibration of different emotions, how we're interwoven with the vibration of specific words and ideas, and we're attached to them by our own will and our own beliefs, and that is how we're manifesting them into the physical realities in which we exist. So when I say timelines, I mean that the timeline, what's happening right now, there are infinite versions of that thing. There are infinite versions of you that you're expanding into and releasing yourself from. And there's infinite versions of the people in your lives too. So you're experiencing a version of them within the timeline that you're manifesting yourself into, because everything already exists. And when you do integration, of the past timelines. For example, if you integrate a traumatic timeline and take that part of your soul out of that timeline, then you are moving your literal soul into different timelines where that is not occurring anymore, whatever that trauma was. So as we collect the parts of our soul, look into the completion process by Teal Swan. I always talk about it, and the reason why is because of the exact thing that I did today was I integrated a part of my soul, and that part of my soul was a part of me that felt left behind, that felt in the dark, that felt alone. And so I took that part of myself and I had to reassure that inner child, that me, that the traumatic memory that I was in, that I was being taken out of that place physically. And I took my inner child to my inner sanctum, cleansed that part of my soul with healing waters and vision, and integrated that part of my soul, because in order to take that part of me with me, that part of me has to be a part of me. So I invite the inner child to come back into the physical body. And I allow that part of me to integrate in whatever it needs. I call back all the parts of me that are attached to that vibration, and I cleanse them as well. It's very involved. So I've had to intuitively figure out different ways to feel comfortable using that process. And that's why I think it's so important to talk more about it, is because I throw this information out there sometimes willy-nilly, like, hey, you try this. But like, I've had to do it so many times to perfect the process. It's not just a one-off, like it's a constant. And like, people say to me sometimes, oh, I've integrated all my ancestral trauma, but that trauma goes deep. It goes on and on and on. It is also infinite. So we're integrating it piece by piece. And of course, we're raising our vibration to the next level, but we're still all connected to each other as a collective soul that breaks down into smaller souls, but they're still all connected to each other. So, you know, it's a question of how, on what level, on what vibrational existence, what part of this infinitely unfolding fabric are we attached? And every person that you see in your everyday life is attached to you by some form of similarity. Obviously, we all have being human in common, but they're all a reflection of you, and often a repressed reflection of you, sort of coming out on the other side of infinity. So I know all of this sounds nuts, but I mean, it really is. It's just, this Aquarian age is about opening your mind to all of the possibilities, which is hard for the ego to do. Basically, it makes your mind want to collapse in on itself, and it's hard. You got to take it piece by piece, do it little by little, and integrating different parts of yourselves at different times. This is why I think the astrology is kind of like shifting in a cycle, in a circle, where we get to explore different transits of different parts of ourselves at different times. You know, we're attached to the vibrations of the stories of those planets, basically, in the ethers. The stories that our ancestors made up are part of us, and that is why they affect our lives. So, yeah, I'm just having to switch hands because I'm holding my camera as steady as possible. What else do I have to say about this? So yeah, the integration piece, sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes it makes you really tired, but you are literally taking that part of you out of those timelines where you were traumatized and bringing that part of you into center, to being centered, so that as this vortex continues to spin, that part of you isn't getting sort of like caught up in the fabric of other people and manifesting as other people and all of these strange things that continue to happen. I don't claim that any of this is scientific. This is just something that I have a deep knowing about. It's something that I understand, going full Aquarius on you guys right now. Because like, there's that rebel part of me that just doesn't even care, that just wants you to know this, and if it rings true for you, and it makes sense to you, that you can use it, and you can lift your vibration, and our collective vibration will be lifted as a result of that. I don't see any harm in just coming out and saying, like, okay, your life is about what timeline you're traveling to, i.e., what version of yourself are you becoming? What are you adding to your vibration? What are you letting go of? Those things define what timelines you're manifesting. And it's all having to do with your chakras. Your chakras connect you to these dimensions of these concepts, these conceptual dimensions that we're traveling through. And, you know, of course, I'm going to throw it out there too. What harm could it do to believe in those, in chakras, in the system of working on different parts of yourself, like working on the part of yourself that's oriented towards survival, working on the part of yourself that's oriented towards creativity, working on your concept of who you are, working on how you connect with others and how you connect with the world, your personal truth, your connection with the ethers and your ability to see them in the mind's eye, and your connection with pure source energy. Bringing that source energy down through all the chakras into the Earth Star. What is the harm in believing in these things? Just do it. And that's what I meant in my video when I was talking about settling into our power and sitting in our throne. That's grounding the ethereal energy. That's what the Empress is about. It's bringing, it's taking that ethereal energy, i.e., parts of your soul, and just pure source energy, energy that's the highest vibration of the chakras that you're healing, and integrating it into yourself. That is bringing you're bringing parts of yourself and settling them into one throne, into one Merkaba, into one light body. And then that is giving you the essence of the universe and allowing you to project yourself into these realities where you're actually manifesting what you want. The reality where you have everything you want and need already exists, and you deserve it. Of course you deserve it. So that's another thing that we have to let go of to manifest ourselves into these timelines, is the idea that we don't deserve it. So because we're in the state of resistance of those timelines, we won't travel into them. The fear will block us, or the guilt will block us, or the shame will block us, and that's why we do the cleansing and the clearing and the healing. And our dreams are going to show us where we're blocked. Our dreams are going to show us parts of ourselves that we don't accept. Our dreams can show us what we need to alchemize, the energy that we need to shift and transform. So, I mean, it's worth mentioning that Saturn and Pluto are still in Capricorn. Pluto right here, the planet that rules Scorpio, and that's why I'm wearing this, is because today I felt like I transformed myself with this Aquarian energy, these innate sort of insights that I get. And I don't know, maybe I get that on some level because of my Aquariusness, and that sort of marks my life and how I came into this world and the type of life that I've had. And I want to talk about that more, obviously, but I deeply believe that this is my soul's purpose, especially with Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn being, the third dimension and karma and timelines, that it's part of my purpose here as an Aquarius moon, with that conjunct to my moon, to bring this information to you guys, to bring it down to earth, bring it into this plane, and affect these timelines with the power of my words, with my speech. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching this rant. Please like and subscribe, and also it do you some good to start a meditation practice, to start a ritual practice, become a practicing witch, become a manifester, do some rituals, light some sage, Do whatever you feel that you need to do that symbolically rings true with your soul, because that's going to purify you and that's going to bring you into the timelines that you want. I'm going to make videos about how to do magic too, because I think it's time for me to bring that information to my channel. So like and subscribe. Share this video with a friend if you think they would appreciate it. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Bye everybody. Have a good blood moon. Peace.